Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt a pang of dissatisfaction? Or maybe your body surprised you with an ache or an illness or just a stubborn refusal to cooperate, leaving you feeling frustrated, even betrayed sometimes? We spend so much time and energy focusing on our physical selves, perfecting our diets, pushing our limits, chasing an ideal. But what if I told you that our bodies aren't the main event? Now, please don't take what I'm saying out of context. I am not saying to ignore the body, but what if it's actually a sophisticated learning device, a temporary instrument in this grand adventure we call Earth School? Welcome back to Earth School Navigation. I'm Erica, and for years I've been exploring the world, studying ancient wisdom, forgotten stories, and the way nature teaches us to live in harmony, gathering stories, practices, and perspectives to help us navigate this wild classroom that I like to call Earth School. And today we're diving deep into a concept that, once understood, can radically transform your experience here on Earth. We're talking about the mind body spirit connection, but through a very specific lens, one that often challenges conventional wisdom. And just to be clear, when I talk about the mind, I am not talking about the brain. The brain is a physical organ located in the physical body. It processes, it regulates, it coordinates, it restores, and it generates. And it's subject to aging, injury, and disease. The mind is non-physical. It is the seat of awareness, the source of beliefs, perception, and identity. It's the decision maker that chooses, it interprets, and it assigns meaning. The mind is where you exercise free will, where you interpret your experiences, and where you create a sense of self. The mind is the decision maker, the place where perception is formed. One of the most misunderstood ideas in our culture is the belief that the body is who we are. I used to think that my physical body was who I am. My beliefs are very, very different today. From this perspective, I'm going to share the body isn't the self, capital S, self at all. It's a tool. The body's a tool. It's a learning device the mind uses while navigating this physical world. It's not meant to be perfected or worshiped. It's meant to facilitate learning. So, if you've ever felt confused or unclear on the mind body spirit connection, or like there's more to life, more to you than just the physical form, then stick around because this episode's for you. The mind body spirit component can be hard to understand at first because the spirit isn't another part. It's the source of everything. You're going to have to practice understanding this concept by marinating on it. I had to practice this concept by marinating on it. Marinate on what I'm about to say in this episode. I will also give one helpful practice at the end of this episode so you have something tangible to work on if you so choose. Let's start with the body, our earthling avatar. In Earth School, I know today that our body is not who we are, but rather a magnificent, incredible, and complex tool to navigate this plane of existence. Think of it like the ultimate vehicle for navigating this physical world. Just as a car helps us travel from one place to another, our bodies allow our consciousness to experience things like taste, touch, sight, sound, motion, all of that. It's a spiritual lens allowing us to interact, to feel, to learn. We're not here to worship our bodies, nor are we here to achieve some sort of unattainable physical perfection. Now, just to be clear, that does not mean we mistreat or we do not care about the body. How you treat your body reflects your mind's alignment. In other words, neglect or abuse of the body can be seen as a reflection of inner conflict, guilt, or lack of self love. Healthy use of the body, so rest, nourishment, movement, is a practical way to express love, which makes the mind more capable of choosing truth, which brings me to the body's purpose. The body's purpose is far more profound. It's to help our mind learn invaluable lessons. It's the instrument through which our mind gathers data, experiences, consequences, and ultimately grows. The body's ability, while impressive, is often really overvalued. From my perspective, it really doesn't have any inherent power. I don't think it has the ability to create. It's really kind of neutral, only doing what the mind tells it to do. We even see this echoed in fields like the biology of belief, which you can learn more about in my episode titled Who Controls Your Life? So, if the body is the vehicle, then who's the driver? That would be your mind. Your mind is an incredible, powerful creator. It thinks, it imagines, it learns, it chooses, and more importantly, it creates experiences. The body in this framework can't create anything on its own. It acts, it responds, but it doesn't initiate. Fatigue, injury, illness seem to almost always be in response to mine. I know many people in my life who are really struggling with their health. They carry a long list of diagnoses and they bounce from doctor to doctor or from one alternative healing practice to another, hoping the next treatment will finally make a difference. They've tried everything and they will often say, I've tried everything, yet nothing seems to work. And to be clear, I don't judge them for that because I've been there. I'm coming up on 9 years of sobriety. I lived physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually sick for many years of my life. I know what it feels like when your body becomes a battleground and you're willing to try anything to feel okay again. But what I've learned, both from my own experience and from watching the people I love, is that our struggles don't start in the body at all. They come from a mind that's hurting, a mind filled with distortion and error and a misguided perception. When our internal dialogue is heavy, critical, or full of fear, the body simply mirrors that environment. As I began healing my perception, how I saw myself, how I interpreted my experience, and how I spoke to myself, the physical, mental, and emotional symptoms I carried for years began to fade. And when a physical issue resurfaced, like it did a couple years ago for me, I understood what was happening. So, for example, my thyroid went out of balance and a massive cyst grew on my right ovary and it was filled with a solid mass. And I had to be rushed into surgery to have that ovary removed. Yes, I supported my body physically. I changed my diet, I went off gluten, I did several things to balance my hormones, but I knew those adjustments weren't the core of healing. They were support, but they were not the cause. I knew exactly where this dis-ease was coming from. I had gone through an experience that really shook me deeply, something that left emotional and spiritual debris in my mind. My body was simply responding to the anguish I hadn't resolved. The true healing, the healing that allowed me to move through that season, wasn't rooted in medicine or supplements or procedure. The core of my healing was rooted in correcting the perception that had been wounded, forgiving for what I held against myself, releasing the fear and the judgment that I was carrying, and choosing a different interpretation of what I had gone through. It was very important. The core of the healing came from the mind, not the body. And once the mind shifted, my body followed. I'm going over an important concept, so let me repeat. Only the mind is capable of error. The body can only act wrongly when it's responding to misthought. From my perspective, the belief that your body makes its own illness is a fundamental error. When we rely on external remedies alone without tending to the mind, we're unintentionally giving the body a power that it really doesn't have, treating it as a creator of our experiences rather than the responder to it. Consider stress. We all know how chronic stress can manifest, right? Physically. So, headaches, digestive issues, musculoskeletal issues. The body isn't making the stress, it's responding to the mental state of things like worry, fear, overwhelm. It's a physical manifestation of a mental state. In Earth School, our body is giving us incredibly valuable feedback, showing us the ripple effect of our thoughts and our beliefs. This perspective suggests that physical illness isn't just bad luck or poor genes, it's a powerful signal, a learning device prompting us to examine our minds, our beliefs, our unresolved fears, our misthoughts. It's not about blame, but about the profound empowerment and responsibility. And if you're someone that struggles with blame or shame when you bring any sort of awareness in your life, then please check out my video titled The Hidden Trap of Self Awareness. Now, let's talk about the silent, unchangeable force behind it all, your spirit. Your spirit is perfect, it's eternal, it's whole, and it's completely unchangeable. It's not capable of learning anything because there's nothing for it to learn. The mind doesn't create spirit because spirit has already been created. It's your true essence, your connection that's not separate from, but a part of something greater, what some call source, the great spirit, the ineffable one, or God. While your mind is busy learning and creating experiences, and your body is busy navigating the physical world, your spirit remains untouched, whole, and complete. Side note, when I speak of spirit, I'm not talking about soul. Soul and spirit are different, which I will explain in another episode, so make sure you hit the subscribe button. So, how do these three, mind, body, and spirit, truly connect and interact within Earth School? The world, Earth School itself, is a means for healing. To me, it's a type of classroom designed to help us heal the perceived separation from this perfect spirit, this whole self. We often feel separate from each other, separate from our true nature, separate from source. But what if that separation is entirely an illusion? What if the challenges, the lessons, even the physical symptoms we experience are all part of a curriculum designed to help us remember our inherent wholeness and our unbreakable connection to the eternal? What I just said there is the centerfold of my practice today, undoing this perceived separation. And that can be very hard when everything feels so separate. Think of it like this: your spirit is the eternal, unchanging light, the pure essence of who you are. It's the constant, the bedrock of your being. This light shines through your mind. Your mind, as we've discussed, is the active interpreter, the chooser, the learner, and the creator of your perception and your experience. It's where free will resides, where you make decisions about what to believe and how to react. And then there's the body. The body is the physical manifestation, the tangible instrument that allows your mind's choices and perceptions to be expressed and experienced in the physical realm. It's the canvas upon which your mind paints its reality, the stage on which your learning unfolds. And this connection isn't a linear one where spirit influences the mind and the mind influences the body. It's more of a dynamic, interconnected web. Our spirit is always present, always whole, offering an unwavering source of truth and love. Yet our mind can become clouded with misthoughts, distortion, and fears, creating beliefs that don't align with our true spiritual nature. When the mind is misaligned, which I know from personal experience, it sends signals, often as physical discomfort, illness, or emotional distress to the body. This is the body's way of saying, hey, something's out of sync here, something needs our attention. It's the mind's distorted beliefs manifesting through the physical. The body, in its service to the mind, becomes the messenger. It's not the source of the problem, but the pointer towards the problem. And the crucial point is this: the body can only reflect the state of the mind. If the mind is filled with peace, clarity, and truth, the body will tend to be in a state of balance and well being. If the mind is burdened by negativity, the body will likely show signs of that burden. So, how do we bring harmony to this intricate connection? How do we navigate Earth School more effectively? Start here and here only. Examine your beliefs. Do you even know what your beliefs are? I'll tell you that I spent many years with beliefs I didn't even know I had. Pay attention to what you regularly tell yourself or think about yourself. Find your beliefs. Some are easier to uncover than others. Write them down. Write them down and examine them. Are they serving you? What are they aligned with? Once I had my beliefs written down, I would write out a counter belief to each one, a counter belief that I would prefer to have. Then the practice is replacing one belief with the other as they come up, and you'll have to do that over and over again before it sticks. Those beliefs didn't get there overnight, so you won't get rid of them overnight. It's a practice. Start there. My hope for you is the next time you look in the mirror or your body sends you a signal, remember, you are an eternal spirit using a magnificent mind to learn, grow through experiences facilitated in the physical form. This is Earth School, and we are powerful, capable students. Have a good week.